When I first started playing jazz and I was memorizing standards, I would memorize, chord by chord. So if I was learning All the Things You Are, which I will get to in a second here, I would sit there and for hours I'd memorize, F minor, B flat minor 7, E flat dominant 7, A flat major 7, D flat major 7, D half diminished, G7, C major 7, without thinking of the function of those chords and how they related to the key. So I would be thinking F minor, B flat minor, E flat 7. And it took a long time to memorize because there's so many chords in that song. But at one point I had a teacher who said, "Do you know this song?" And I'd say, "No, let me pull it up in my real book." He'd say, no need for the real book. Let me just tell you how it goes. We start, and if let's say we're talking about All the Things You Are, he'd say, all right, well, it's in A flat, so we're going to go from 6 to 2 to 5 to 1. So that's just really a little way to get to 1 to 4. And then we do a 2-5 to the key of C. And all of a sudden, it was a lot easier to think about the function of the chord as opposed to trying to remember the changes. If we looked at that CeeLo Green example, to just break it down a little easier, I could tell you, oh yeah, the song goes from C to D7 to F back to C. But if I just said we go from 1 to dominant 2 to 4 back to 1, not only is it easier to understand the journey that we're going on, but also if I give you the numbers, and we're playing with a singer who said, that's too high for me, I can't sing that high, can we do it in the key of A instead? You might say, okay, well, wait a second, I learned it only in this one key. No, you can say, okay, well, I know A is going to be 1, it's a dominant 2, so we're going to go to B7, D is going to be 4. All of a sudden I can play the song in any key because I know how each chord relates to the major scale.